Today I'm here with something special. Yep, the Insta360 X4. The Insta360 X4. It's a brilliant little camera, this one. It's comes off like that. That's the camera. This here is the invisible selfie stick, and it's also got some legs on it as well, which you have to buy separately. But this is what we're talking about today. It's just come out. It's a powerful little camera. It does 8K, and it's amazing. Now, I've got to say, this camera is good for some people, and some people it's probably too much. So let's dive into this camera and have a look what it can do. If you're the type of person that likes to go out and film themselves, and you don't usually skate with people, or you don't want to ask people to film you, then this is ideal, because you can just set it up in the corner and hit record, and then go back later and just find the tricks that you want and export them and send them out. It's also good for people who like editing on their phones, because you keep all the files on here and you go through and you edit them, and you just export the ones that you want onto your phone, and then you can upload them straight to Instagram or wherever you want to upload them. It can do all different aspect ratios. It can do like your vertical video, no problem. It's actually really good at vertical video, and it's good for normal landscape, 1080p type of thing, or 4K it'll go up to. And yeah, I think it's a great camera if you're filming yourself. Now, a couple of things that I will mention is I tried to use it on my computer, and the software was really slow, so I couldn't even use it. It was too painful. But then I used it on my Mac, and it was perfect on the MacBook Pro. I think it's an M2 chip, so you have to have a newer one. But my PC, my Windows computer, it's got a lot of RAM, but yeah, it's an older computer, so it's probably about 4 or 5 years old, and they recommend having a nice new GPU. So if this is getting a little bit technical, don't worry, but basically they say you want to have a nice computer that's less than 2 years old if you want it on your computer. Now, the app, I used it on my smartphone and it worked perfectly. Tried it on my iPad, worked perfectly. So if you want to use it on your phone, this is ideal for that. Really good app. They've really thought about it, made it easy to use. It's got this cool thing called deep tracking, where it finds a subject and you hit start tracking and it follows the subject. And so if you've got this set up on the tripod, you go push film, let it film you doing your tricks and everything. Later on you hit track and you select who you want to track. If there's other people in the skate park, it will lock onto you and it'll just like someone's following you, and you can then export that and it'll just be you skating. So that's why this is really good for solo sessions. It's also got a mic on there, so you get audio. Now when you're skating along with the selfie stick, it's really good as well, because you can do the view where it looks like you're skating and there's no one following you or anything like that. It's just the selfie stick, and invisible selfie stick, so that's really good. And you can lock that onto yourself as well, and it works really well. Now the things that I found annoying about this camera is, one of the things is I like to film on a GoPro, and I'll film it and then I'll just download it onto my computer, chuck it into Premiere, and just edit. And with this, there's more steps involved. You have to actually go into the app, select the footage that you want. You've got to export that, and then you've got the file that you can work with. Because you do all the reframing after the fact. You record it, and then after you figure out which bits you want. So that's another step for me, but you can get some pretty amazing things. And when you've got someone following you with the stick, you can really stick it really close to them, and you can get some amazing shots. Yeah, you get some amazing shots when you've got a friend who's following you with the camera. Just get in nice and close, and yeah, it's got the protective lens covers on this new one, so it makes it a bit more robust, but I'd still be careful, because when it gets scratched, then you can see that on because they stick out, they bulge out like eyeballs. So see that, you can see that. So hit that, imagine, could crack. It's supposed to be really strong and durable, but I'm being very careful with this one. So I've got a protective cover, which I always put that in there, and underneath it's got the tripod mount, so you can mount it anywhere you want. It's got a screen on the back, and it's got just a record button here, and that button there to see the mode select. On here there's an on-off button, a Q for quick record. Under here is the little USB-C, that's where you recharge it. The battery comes out, that's the battery. It's just it's actually quite a good battery. I did a whole 1 minute skate park guide with it, and I'll show you that. Okay, so I can talk about this, and I really wanted to test it out, and what's a better way to test this thing out than to try a 1 minute skate park guide. So I went to Deer Park, which I've already done a skate park guide. You can see that in the description below. I'll have a link to that, but I wanted to do a full 1 minute skate park guide with this camera and see how it works. So here we go. Let's watch the 1 minute skate park guide with the Insta360.
1 minute skate park guide, Deer Park, Victoria. This skate park is in the west of Melbourne and in the murdery part of Melbourne. So if you come here, bring a friend or two. I had Rag and Aman to cover my 6, so we were good. This skate park is built around a bowl, and that makes the bowl the centerpiece of the skate park. When it isn't full of smashed VB stubbies or campfires, or wet from the rain the day before, this bowl is a little ripper. It has plenty of different looks. The deep part is about 5 foot and the shallow part is about 4 foot. The coping is great and bulges out nicely. Someone has come along, however, with a grinder and notched out chunks out of the coping. Hear what Rag has to say.
We have a little look here, we can see him. I don't have an issue with him doing it, but if you're going to do it properly. Equal shuckers.
The bowl has two extensions. One is a flat bank with a grindable edging on the top, and the other extension was ball coping and is now just chunky mess. There are some cool edges and a square rail. All in all, great little spot. I give this little park a solid 3 VBs stubbies out of the 6-pack.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with how that worked for the 1 minute skate park guide. It's going to be really good if I was doing a skate park guide by myself, because I can just put it in somewhere, because sometimes you've got to put the tripod somewhere where it's not in the way, and because it's 8K you can kind of zoom in a little bit, and you can put it in an angle where it's kind of out of the way, where people aren't going to knock it over, or it's not going to get in their way. So that's really important with a skate park camera. Yeah, so I really rate this camera, even though it's a lot more effort for the type of work I do. I'd still find a place for it in my workflow. And you know, there's some people that do really good filming with the 3D cameras, like Rob Kellett. If you watch, follow him on Instagram and have a look at the way he uses his, he gets pretty creative with it, by slowing it down, ramping, and then speeding it up again, and they get in nice and close. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, I'd say, if you want to use it well. And a lot of people say that, you know, don't use a 360 camera because it looks like a 360 camera, but that's because they're not using it correctly. So if you're going to use one, use it responsibly, but it's amazing, and I think it's the future of cameras. And yeah, Insta360 X4. If you want to get one, go to Eastside Skates and use the discount code SHIFTY, and you'll get a nice little discount. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and yeah, if you do end up getting one, and you get some cool shots, tag me at West of Oxley on Instagram, and yeah, show me what you got. All right, catch you later. See you next time.